What's up, y'all? This is your boy Brooklyn. Welcome to my channel, Brooklyn Media. I'm back with another video. And today I just want to get into this big topic that's going on right now, which is female album sales. And I want to know, do we really care about female album numbers? So I was sitting at work today. And they just dropped Lotto's numbers, which was 27K. And everybody was like, "Oh, that's a flop. This is a flop." And I kind of wanted to just get into, what a flop looks like in today's music. I also just want to kind of break down each individual female artist that has dropped within the last couple of months. We're gonna look at their album sales, their first, well, let's just say their first week sales. Look at them as the artist. Look at the type of content they put out, and what they've been doing over their careers, and kind of break that down. And I also just wanted to get into one other topic that's big, which is the whole Nicki Minaj of it all. We know that, of course, Nicki Minaj is really like at the highest pedestal right now within the female rap. And a lot of people had some stuff to say about that interview that Lotto, Sexy Red, and Flo Milli did for that Spotify content. So I do want to get into that. And I also want to touch on, is this music good? Do record sales, do first week sales really matter? Is the music trash, or you know are people just streaming music versus buying it? I mean, and we can get into that. So first of all, I want to start off by just saying everybody's kind of first week sales. And so Lotto's first week was 27K. Glorilla, I believe they said, did 33K, which is good for Glorilla. Meg did 64K in the first week. Ice Spice did 28K, and JT did 27K. In my opinion, everybody's kind of within the same realm. And all the female artists that I just named are honestly at the top of their class right now. They're dropping hot singles, they're dropping hot features, they're dropping fire content, good videos, they have their name in the mix. So I think that they're in good, this is good company in my opinion. But I do want to start with, let's just go ahead and get Meg out the way. For Meg to sell 64K, I mean, I don't think that's bad. Again, nobody's buying records. And when you kind of compare her in this class, because again, I can't put Meg in a class with Nicki Minaj. Lyrically, catalog wise, fan wise, tour wise, they're not on the same level. If I'm being 100, I don't think any current female artist right now is on the same level as Nicki Minaj. And that's Cardi B included. I mean, again, Cardi has only dropped one album, if we're being 100%. Nicki has dropped multiple albums. Nicki is on a world tour. You can't put any other female artist in that category with Nicki. Um, so I would put Meg in the category with, up there with the star power of Cardi B, but she is also the leader of this new female rapper category. 64K is cool for Meg. I don't have a problem with it. Of course, Meg is coming off the heels of, I guess, trying to find herself, find her sound, find out what works. She's coming off of the whole Tory Lanez trial, the Protect Black Women, really trying to find her space. She just went on a tour. It looked very successful. And I mean, 64K and you still putting asses in seats, you can't deny that. I think 64K is good. Now, when we talk fan power, Meg has a lot of fans. Whether they're fans on social media, fans that mess with her movement, I feel like you can be a fan of somebody and not like their music. You can like what they stand for and not want to go see them. You can like them as a person and not care for any of their music. So yes, Meg can put asses in seats, whether they're arenas or theaters. But 64K is cool for Meg, when it comes to fan power. Obviously, I'm pretty sure nowadays people aren't buying records. I haven't bought a album in years. I believe the last album I bought was T.I.'s Paper Trail, if I'm being 100% honest. Um, and that might tell my age, uh, but yeah, what was Meg's biggest single? Was it Cold? I couldn't even tell you. Meg has nice visuals. Let's just say that. When it comes to singles, like a lead single for her project that she just dropped, I honestly couldn't tell you. And maybe that can contribute to uh her being 64K. Again, Meg is, I want to say, top three right now within that female realm. And of course, one being Nicki, two being Cardi, and three being Meg. Meg hasn't dropped a recent single that everybody said, "Oh my gosh, like this is that one." Like, I haven't seen it, or heard it. Um, and also, good music is good music. I've listened to Meg's tape. It's not my type of tape. If I'm being 100, it's not my type of tape. I'm not streaming it. I've listened to it, but it doesn't have a lot of replay value for me. So when it comes to that, 64K is cool for Meg. Uh, Now let's go to, let's say next under Meg, I would say with 33K is Glorilla. One thing I can say about Glorilla is she's new school. Um, she had that she had that first big single. She signed to Yo Gotti. She had a lot of great heat behind her, a lot of great momentum, and then Glorilla went through a transition to where people were like, "Oh, she fell off, she flopped." When she made that drill record with Fabio Foreign, and she kind of had to get herself out of that lump, and she created a hit, Yeah Glow. Who doesn't love Yeah Glow? I love Yeah Glow. Everybody is singing Yeah Glow, from the guys to Rihanna. Uh, so that was her big breakout hit off of the heels of, um, I guess, being shelved in a way, if you want to call it shelved. Because a lot of people didn't believe in Glorilla. Glorilla definitely has, right now, she has the fan power. A lot of people are paying attention, and I feel like Rihanna even making a video ASAP Rocky to Yeah Glow. No, not even Yeah Glow. I'm sorry. Um, TGIF. TGIF really took Glow to, it was Yeah Glow and then TGIF. TGIF shot Glow because one thing about Glow is Glow has follow-ups. She came with FNF, and then after FNF, she had the Tomorrow 2 record with Cardi B that went crazy. So one thing about Glow is she's always going to, she'll recover, and then she's gonna come back with hit. So I think that definitely contributed to the 33K. People are streaming the hell out of TGIF. I mean, that's the anthem for every Friday. You're playing that. Once you get off work, once you go outside, you in the lounge, you in the club, you getting your happy hour on, and they play. It's 7 p.m. Friday. It's 95 degrees. Everybody's getting up. Everybody's turning up. Um, so when it comes to singles and hits, Glow got it. Glow was running the summer with her singles. Uh, and she's also making good music. So I would definitely have to give it to Glow. I think 33K for Glorilla is perfectly fine. I don't see anything wrong with 33K. Now next up, let's talk about Ice Spice. Um, Ice Spice, in my opinion, 28K is cool for Ice Spice. I'm actually surprised that she's lasted this long, if I'm being 100% real. Uh, I mean, Ice Spice is all about shaking ass and drill beats. I think she changed her sound up when she started collabing with Nicki. Nicki gave her a different look. A lot of people canceled. I like a lot of Ice Spice's older stuff, like the stuff that people might not know about, like her softer records. Um, I think too much drill gets me too drowned out. I don't want to hear drill all the time. I understand that's a popular sound right now. A lot of people are using drill beats. New York culture is heavily influenced right now. New York is coming up in the ranks with that sound, but I'm over the drill. And I honestly was checked out of Ice Spice's album because simply I just don't like the sound. I think she did have a hit with that Central C record. It's a nice little bop for TikTok. Ice Spice gonna shake her ass, and you know people gonna tune in. She has great sex appeal, which definitely contributes to eyes. Visuals are always gonna be looked at and always gonna be fire because she looks good. But I think that she didn't capture. I don't think she understands fully what a Y2K movement is. If I'm being 100, and I think she missed the mark with that. And also just her falling out with Nicki. You can attach yourself to Nicki Minaj and gain Nicki's fans, but let me say this carefully. Once you once you transition from Nicki Minaj, Nicki keeps her fans and they don't migrate. The Barbs don't play. They're loyal. One thing that Nicki has that these other female artists don't have is a strong fan base. A fan base that will fight for them through thick and thin. Don't care if she right, wrong, or indifferent. Who beefing, who it don't matter. And that's one thing a lot of these girls don't have. They don't have a strong enough fan base. Um, so 28K, I think that's cool for Ice Spice. If I'm being 100, that's cool for Ice Spice. And again, I didn't think Ice Spice would last this long. I don't know how much longer she's gonna last. Do I have a problem with Ice Spice? No, but I think that drill beat sound is gonna change real quick within the next year. Um, as you can see, a lot of people are transitioning the country anyway. So Ice Spice needs to figure out a way uh to change up her sound, her image, and become a little more innovative. Because you can only go so far with shaking ass on the stage. Um, so next up, we got my girl JT. Um, and I want to say that first and foremost, I love the City Girls. I'm not going front. I think the City Girls were great for culture. I think the City Girls were very pivotal in the music, in today's music. They kind of brought back to life that Miami sound that Trina had, Trick Daddy, all of them had in Miami. And they made it cool for people to act ratchet and crazy and just spin the bag. I ain't going for this. This type of lifestyle I want. And you can't do nothing but rock with it. So you can't acknowledge JT without acknowledging the City Girls of Young Miami. JT would not be what she is today if Young Miami did not get her pregnant ass on that stage. If we being 100, if Young Miami was not on that stage screaming free JT and getting on that stage, there would be no JT right now. And that's just being 100. I saw Young Miami. She came to Nashville when JT was in jail. Of course, they got to fighting and shooting it up. But I will say that she held it down. She had clubs packed. She was hitting those stages. Again, every time she would hop on stage, it was free JT. Again, a lot of people are giving Miami slack because of her recent Carisha Please episode. And again, tell your truth, tell your story how you know it. I don't think that Miami was jealous of JT at all. Um, it's just JT surpassed Miami. I mean, we all knew that Miami wasn't the better rapper. But Miami did make fun records. So again, you can't acknowledge JT without acknowledging Young Miami and the City Girls. Um, and so when it comes to City Cinderella, I really like that project. I like City Cinderella. I think 27K for JT is great. As a first time mixtape, solo mixtape, you're not with your group member, you've never done this before. You're used to feeding off of somebody else's energy. You're used to having somebody else finish either the first or the last part of every verse. Um, Coming up with with hooks, writing, rapping, and trying to complete a song for one person is a lot. I mean, I in my past life, have tried to rap. Will those raps ever see the light of day? Never. But I know how hard it is to write a song, let alone find a hook, write a song, and then write the second verse and finish it out. I think with the right team, with the right production team, the right writers for JT, I see longevity for JT. 27K is perfect. JT, she held out on a lot of features. She didn't have any real mainstream features. I mean, you can't put Stunner Girl is cool, but she's not mainstream. DJ Khaled didn't say anything on the record. He probably just produced it. Jeezy was just on the remix, but OK was already popping before Jeezy got on it. So when it comes to a non-feature heavy project for a first time solo mixtape debut, JT running it, and you got to give it to her. I think out of everybody currently on this list, JT, she won. She won. 27K is perfectly fine. That's not a flop for JT at all. JT was hitting small venues. She was hitting clubs, performing in clubs. She was really doing the groundwork to make sure that she connected with people. She connected with her fans. And I was just having a conversation with another artist the other day, and he told me, he was like, "Man, people might not know me, but I'm gonna speak to everybody in the room. I'm gonna shake everybody's hand. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that." And that's what Jay-Z was doing. JT was doing. So again, 27K, was the music good on the album? Yes. Was every song banging? To me, it was cool. But she had enough records. There's enough records to where you can work with it. And the music is good. It's nothing horrible on there. And like I said, for it to be her first solo mixtape debut outside of the City Girls, and her to never do this before by herself, 27K is great for JT. It's not a flop at all. Um, and again, when we talk about her singles, you got OK, No Bars, Sideways. And one thing that JT did that a lot of these girls on this list didn't do, she worked those singles. She worked them, you know, and that's one thing you don't see in today's music. People aren't working singles. Everybody wants to do that Beyonce formula by just dropping music on Friday. Whatever happened to the proper rollout? Whatever happened to getting somebody excited about your music? People aren't buying records because nobody's excited about the music that's being put out. Nobody. There are no proper rollouts. And that's the issue. That's literally the issue. And that's guys and women. There's no proper rollout. Nobody's doing that. And that's annoying. Get me excited. That City Cinderella rollout was perfect. It was perfect. Visuals, showing up to clubs everywhere, shaking hands and rubbing babies, or whatever they said, shaking hands and all that, introducing yourself like you're a new artist, that works. Nobody likes a Hollywood person. And for the longest, JT was known as the one with the attitude, the one that was difficult to work with, the one that people didn't like. Miami was the fun, ha kiki one. JT showing her personality and touching people. She's approachable now. She's doing content with Funny Marco and a lot of other people. She's going on podcasts and talking. We like that. I like that. So 27K for JT, love it. And last but not least, let's get into Lotto. Lotto sold 27K. First week. Lotto's album just came out last week. I just did a review on my channel. Make sure you guys go check that out. It's real funny. I did it with my girl Aaliyah. And her commentary is hilarious. So go check that out. But I loved Lotto's album. I think it was a great follow-up to 777. 777 was a great record. I couldn't tell you how much that sold in the first week, but I'm pretty sure it was around the same range as this one. Lotto's production and growth has grown. I think her sales should have been a little higher because the music is really good. So I think now Lotto has to say, okay, well, what do I need to do further? What can I do further? Her visuals are great. So is it the songs that's not hitting? What type of sound do people want to hear? Who am I as an artist? Um, and a lot of people get her identity mistaken. She was Miss Mulatto, and people are like, well, do you know what that means? Are you black or are you white? What side do you identify with? And I think that's a even tougher thing for her, with being biracial mixed. Because now you're at the question of, are you black? Or are you white? Are you white but acting too black? Or you too black acting too white? Or where do you fit in? I'm dark skinned. I'm black as hell. So I don't have to pick a side. People know what side I'm on. And I think once Lotto figures out how to maneuver around that, or I don't know what she has to do, but she's elevating. And again, she's still I consider Lotto one of the newer artists. I think 27K is perfectly fine for Lotto. Lotto hasn't done enough to be on a Cardi B run to where she can drop one record, one album, and push that album and become this global sensation. She's not even on the level of Meg Thee Stallion. Meg had to work, minus the Tory Lanez situation. Meg was still working. Meg had sex appeal. I think that Meg and the Baby run was perfect for both of them. I think that helped catapult both of their careers. In my opinion, I don't like Meg projects, but a lot of women do. She appeals to the women, and those are the ones that are streaming and buying her records. So, you know, I think Lotto didn't really have a huge single for this tape. Big Mama was cool. It dropped maybe like 2 weeks prior to the album coming out. Big Mama was cool. But yeah, Lotto didn't have a major she didn't have a major single to follow. And again, everybody everybody should follow JT's rollout. Again, get back to the rollouts. Get back to, let's plan this out. Let's make it look. Let's give the people what they want. Let's give them something to look forward to. We're not Beyonce. We can never be Beyonce. We're not Jay-Z. We can never be Jay-Z. So let's meet people where we at. Let's start dropping documentaries. I think that the City Girls, when they did that docu series, loved it. When JT dropped that docu series, the City Cinderella documentary, loved it. I love seeing how albums are made. I love seeing how the process, the trials, the tribulations, what you did, the good, the bad, the ugly. JT addressed a lot of things, and she was very, very vulnerable throughout this whole process. And I think a lot of these women need to take that into consideration. And then also, I think it's time for a lot of these women to just start acknowledging Nicki Minaj, if we're being 100%. If I'm being 100%, a lot of these women need to start acknowledging Nicki Minaj. Whether you like her or you don't. You have to start acknowledging that she's the standard. She's the standard. And it is what it is. I mean, tell me I'm lying. She's the standard. Whether she's cocky, whether she like you, she hates you, whether she throws shade, whether she's speaking in cryptic coded messages, she's the standard. And until they start, because Lotto had no reason not say, okay, this is my thing, and I'm just gonna break this down real quick, and then we're gonna, wrap this video up. But in that Spotify interview, Lotto said that Big Kim was, or no, not even the Spotify. It was one of the interviews that Lotto did with her sister, where she said Little Kim was her goat, right? Was the goat. Nobody's ever denying what Little Kim did for hip hop. But Little Kim, if we're being 100% honest, has not transcended Nicki Minaj. She hasn't. Nicki is on a world tour. Are you on to a Little Kim world tour? And if you are, put it in the comments. I'll go see Lil Kim at a festival. I'll go see Lil Kim, you know, one-off show. What artist bought Nicki Minaj out as a special guest on the tour? Or is bringing Nicki Minaj out as a special guest on the tour? I'm asking a question. They gotta start acknowledging that Nicki, for Lotto to say that, yeah, Nicki was right here and for a long time, Nicki's right here and then people are right here, and now it's no. Because y'all are selling 27 to 65K. Nicki's selling 3 times that. She's on a world tour. She's on a she's on a world tour. So again, whether you like her, you hate her, you have to acknowledge. So wrapping this up, I think for this class, Lotto, JT, Glorilla, Meg, Ice Spice, good sales. I'm not buying records. I'm streaming them anyway. If you bought an album, put it in the comments. Let me know. I want to know for real. If you streaming, let me know. Let's have a conversation. Do album sales really matter? And why do we put so much emphasis on what females are selling when the guys are selling just as well? Meek ain't selling. Ross can't sell it down. Meek and Ross dropped a joint project and nobody bought that. But yet we over here talking about 27K for Lotto. Is that a flop or a hit? We over here, oh, it's 64K better than Lotto, and is Meg really, is Glorilla a flop? Did Ice Spice flop? The guys are doing the same thing. So that's the end of the video. Let me know in the comments what you think. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. I actually enjoy talking to y'all. I don't really do the talking thing. But I'm definitely might hop back on. My album review is doing pretty well for it to be my first one. So make sure you guys check that out. I got a lot of other great interviews on my channel. The one with Natalie Nunn is going crazy. It's hitting all the blogs. I interviewed Eric Bellinger, Morris Chestnut, Pooch Hall, Chrisette Michelle, K Michelle. I can When I tell you I done interviewed so many people, it's crazy, and I've only been doing this for about a year and a half. So make sure you guys subscribe to Brooklyn Media. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at SoBrooklynMedia. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.